Good evening. The state's top cop has labelled South Australia's laws on prostitution as outdated and unworkable. He says they can't be policed properly unless the laws are changed.
Decriminalising prostitution has always had the red light in the city of churches, not that you'd know it on Hanson Road today. Police Commissioner Mal Hyde says the moral debate's a matter for others, but he's long wanted our laws changed.
For example, it's an offence to receive or pay money in a brothel, which you can pay by credit card. So the law hasn't kept up to date.
But he urges caution.
Completely just decriminalising it probably would leave you with some problems. For example, underage persons in brothels. Whatever the decision is there, make some laws that enable us to do our job properly.
Port Adelaide Enfield's Mayor Gary Johansson supports legal prostitution, but with restrictions.
If you're going to do it in a legalised area, set up something in industrial areas away from the public, away from the schools.
It's hoped decriminalised prostitution will reduce the number of vicious attacks on sex workers because victims will be more likely to tell police.
It will be clear that there is only one offence really happening here, and that is assault on another person.
A private member's bill set to go before Parliament by the end of the year. Michelle Vella, 7 News.
An Adelaide couple's told of their nightmare on board a cruise ship when hundreds of passengers fell ill with a potentially deadly stomach bug. Their wedding anniversary trip ruined. The couple now wants compensation, but the cruise company says it's not to blame.
The 3-week South Asian cruise on the Sun Princess was supposed to be a joyous celebration of 50 years of marriage. Instead...
Oh, I've never been so ill in my whole life.
About 10 days in, Mrs Edwards and more than 200 other passengers became violently ill.
Tried to get back to our cabin. We'd been sitting out on the deck and fainted.
To have your wife laying there staring at you and hardly breathing, that's very frightening.
She was placed on a drip but has been ill ever since. The companies told them the parasite Cyclospora was responsible. It's contracted through eating fresh produce and is commonly found in Southeast Asia. Mrs Edwards convinced she caught the bug on board.
Well, we didn't eat anywhere else.
Princess Cruises have wiped Mrs Edwards' on-board medical bills, but they've so far told her while they regret her illness, there'll be no compensation. Her lawyer says they're bound to honour a duty of care.
If it's found that there was contaminated food on board, then perhaps they haven't.
We're only interested in receiving half our cruise fare back.
Gerda Yetzikovsky, 7 News.